Hey everyone, my name is Annie Pocklington and I work for the Washington Student Achievement Council, which oversees the Washington State GearUp grant at your school. I am here today to tell you a quick bit about searching and applying for scholarships. So, why apply for scholarships? Oftentimes, scholarships are a great way to cover gaps in your education funding. Sometimes scholarships are designated for tuition alone, but some scholarship opportunities allow you to spend money on any educational expenses, including your housing, books, or food while you're attending school. The Washboard is a great scholarship search site ran by the Washington Student Achievement Council. I'm going to talk a lot more about that later, but here are a few 2018 stats to show you why applying for scholarships are worth your time. First off, the Washboard offered over $26 million in scholarships in 2018, and some of this money went unclaimed simply because students didn't apply. Scholarships can range in award amounts, so easier applications are often awarded with smaller amounts, while more time-intensive applications could award up to $20,000. This is really just a generalization, so make sure you understand what you're applying for and what the application expects of you. But just something to keep in mind as you go along and search for all the easy ones. Only 25% of Washboard scholarships require a 3.0 GPA. This is good for two reasons. If you have above a 3.0 GPA, that means that 25% of the scholarships on the Washboard will have a smaller application pool, so you have higher chances of receiving them if you're eligible. If you have under a 3.0 GPA, this means that you're still eligible for potentially 75% of Washboard scholarships. All of this to say, scholarships are not dependent on GPA or activity involvement alone, so do not count yourself out before you have applied. In fact, do you like coffee? Can you draw a duck, or are you tall? If so, that means there's a super easy scholarship application out there waiting for your creative essay response. Organizations give out scholarships because they want you to have money to succeed in higher education. Sometimes these scholarship applications are as simple as describing your personality as an ice cream flavor. All right. So now that we've talked about that, I'm going to give you a few simple tricks and tips about scholarship applications. So first off, before you begin any application, go ahead and just get to brainstorming. Write down any and all of your accomplishments or activities, whether those are babysitting for a younger sibling, taking AP or IB classes, helping take care of an elderly grandparent, or having a job of your own. If you already have a resume, it's a great time to draw from it or add to it. If you don't yet have a resume, then this is an awesome activity to begin building one. So you can totally just brain dump if you want to, get a piece of paper down and start scribbling away all of your activities and accomplishments. Next, begin your search. Start it early and keep looking. You really want to pay attention to deadlines to make sure that you have enough time to apply and submit that application. Most applications are still open to you beyond your senior year of high school too. So it's really important that when you start your search your junior year or your senior year, that you're not just counting yourself out after your senior year. You can continue to apply to scholarships while you're a student in college into your master's and doctoral degrees if that's the route you plan to go. Another important step is to tailor your applications. Though it might be easy to submit the same essay over and over, it'll likely get discarded unless you've spent the time to personalize the application. If you want to go a step further, you could even look up the organization that's offering the scholarship and see how you might weave their values into your own application. Doing your homework is a great way to make yourself and your application stand out. So make sure that you aren't just submitting any old essay, but that you're really looking at what the organization is asking from and displaying that and demonstrating that in your responses. And again, you also want to make sure that you are following directions. I know that's a super simple step, but just be sure to look over your application and the requirements twice, maybe 3 times. And if you can, have someone who knows you look over it too, so they can give you some feedback and help you out. Don't waste your time applying for scholarships that you aren't eligible for. So if it's a really high priced scholarship, but you don't meet one of the criteria and it seems kind of important, Don't waste your time going through, essays and essays of applications. You could spend that time applying for scholarships that you are eligible for and could dedicate that same amount of time. So make sure that you are checking not once, but twice, maybe even 3 times. And then lastly, don't ever pay to apply for a scholarship or for someone to help you apply for a scholarship. Scholarship money is never guaranteed, and there are plenty of free resources out there for you to use. So we want to make sure that you are not spending money on something that's not guaranteed. You definitely don't want to waste money while you're trying to find funding resources. So with that being said, here are some of my favorite resources. This is a great time to take a screenshot if you'd like to do that. I'm going to show you each of these websites and how to navigate them. But before I do, I want to quickly mention the importance of local resources as well. So scholarships can certainly be found online, but you can apply to scholarships that are more local with a smaller pool of applications by reaching out and searching within your own community. Your employer may offer scholarships as well as your parents' employers. Local banks, libraries, community centers, things like that, they often have scholarship opportunities as well. And then, of course, the college or program that you plan on attending are also likely to offer scholarship opportunities that could be really specific to your program or the institution you attend. So make sure that you are checking out all of these local resources as well as the ones that I am about to help you navigate. All right. With that being said, I'm going to pull up these web pages. Okay, here we go. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the washboard.org. So when you type into the washboard.org, you are going to come up on this registration page. So this is actually both the sign in and where you would register. So if you already have a Washboard account, you can totally drop your email and your password in here and sign right in. If you don't, you are going to click on the little green register today icon above the email and password point. Once you sign in, let me get back to the home page here, it is going to look like this. You will see the light green tabs at the top, my profile, my matches, etc., etc. You are going to start by clicking on my profile. Here it's going to have a bunch of information for you. Though you may want to go through all of the tabs, I really recommend that you just go through the basics tab. The reason I say this is because the Washboard is meant to match you, sometimes providing too much information restricts the match functions. So it's a whole lot of stuff to get into, but essentially start with just filling out the basics tab and see what scholarship opportunities come up for you. Once you fill out the basics tab, you're going to hop over to the My Matches tab. Once you're on this page, you're going to see a whole bunch of icons in the middle here. I recommend really only using 2. You're going to use the My Matches icon, which shows you all of the scholarships that the Washboard matched to you based on the basic information that you provided. And you're going to see the Active Scholarships icon. So you can start by looking at the My Matches tab and go through each of these scholarships. I'm going to click on one to just show you what kind of what I would look for when looking at a scholarship. So in the description, I see that this is for financial assistance to women. All right, I qualify, that's great. But then in the next piece of the sentence, it says living or working in the Peninsula School District. So even though the Washboard matched me to this scholarship, I'm not actually eligible for it. So I'm not going to apply because I see that there are 6 other scholarships that I might be eligible for that I'd rather spend my time applying to. So first start by going through this. Then you're going to go over to Active Scholarships with the open sign there. And here is where every single active scholarship on the Washboard website are shown. So just as the My Matches tab showed a few that I wasn't actually eligible for, this tab is going to show a whole lot of scholarships that you might be eligible for that weren't on the My Matches tab. So again, kind of just some funky behind the scenes programming, but something you want to be aware of as you utilize the Washboard. And again, you'll just want to click into these scholarships, see if you're eligible, if you're interested in applying. If you are interested in applying, so I'm going to click on this Too Cool to Pay for School scholarship. If you are interested in applying and you're just kind of going through the general search first, you can rate your interest on this little tab here. So if I select the thumbs up, which I'm going to do, then I can use this scholarships of interest icon to keep track of all the scholarships that I might be interested in. So just a little feature to be aware of if you want to first and foremost comb through all of the scholarships before you begin applying. All right, so that is the washboard.org, washboard.org, pretty easy to find. The next site we're going to talk about is the GearUp website. So I'm going to go to the home page here, and I am going to show you how to utilize the GearUp scholarship listing. So you're going to land on the home page, and then you're going to go to the Students tab. You're then going to scroll down, and you'll see all of these blue links here. Now, all of these links are wonderful. I could go on and on about the bounty of resources you would find by clicking into them. But today we're just going to talk about the Search for Scholarships tab. But this is also a plug. Totally go check out this page. All right, so we're going to go to the Search for Scholarships tab. And you're going to see there are awesome resources on this page. But I'm just going to focus on showing you where to find the scholarships. So here, as you scroll down, you're going to see that these are all links to the scholarships that we offer. Now, these scholarships aren't specifically from GearUp, but they're scholarships we've found that are free to apply for, which is, again, the most important piece. So free scholarships here. You'll see that there are plenty of pages of scholarships, so you have lots to look through. And again, eligibility varies, so make sure that you're following the directions and reading the little description blurb. The one thing that I really love about the GearUp scholarship page is that, number one, you don't have to have an account to utilize it. So you can just come here and browse through the scholarships without signing on to anything. The second thing I really appreciate about this website is that scholarships are listed in order of the date that they're due. So as you can see, I'm looking at this website in December of 2020, and these scholarships are showing me what is due the soonest, right? So if I was a student getting on once or twice a month, one really easy thing to do would be to jump over to this webpage and just for the month, look at what scholarships are offered and which ones I want to have on my radar and aim to complete by the end of the month or by their due dates. So it might be a good practice for you to jump on at the beginning of every month and look ahead to what scholarships are there. Now, some scholarships may take longer than a month to apply, so you might want to do an initial kind of perusing of scholarships to see, but that's just one way you might want to go about it. Alrighty, so again, a really awesome web page that I recommend you check out. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about Scholarship Junkies. Scholarship Junkies also has some really awesome resources on it that I recommend you utilize. So they have an essay review function where someone is willing to look over your scholarship essay and things like that. So I definitely recommend you checking this out. However, you're going to have to create a login here, which is totally fine. I actually created one this morning and it was really super easy peasy. And then when you come on, if you do find more scholarships, it's going to do a similar thing that the Washboard did, which is just showcase the scholarships that you're eligible for. So that's a great way to do it. But I also want to see what else is out there, right? Just because I'm nosy. So I can choose this all scholarships link. And again, it's loading here, but it is going to show me this long list of scholarships out there that I may be eligible for. So a really great website to check out for plenty of awesome scholarship opportunities. And again, just like that thumbs up feature on the Washboard, you can select and make a scholarship a favorite and return to it later. So that is the conclusion of this presentation. Again, a few ways to search and apply for scholarships. I know there's a scholarship out there that you're going to be eligible for and that you're totally worthy of being awarded. If you're having trouble with finding scholarships or want more scholarships options or help in applying for scholarships, I strongly encourage you to reach out to either a GearUp coordinator, a graduation specialist at your school, a high school counselor, or mom or dad, grandma or grandpa to help you apply. I think folks in your life that love you and support you would be more than happy to look over an essay and help you apply and be awarded scholarship funds to help pay for your educational expenses. So good luck. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you soon.